Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. I am Pilsen and we're here just as the marathon is about to end after 5 days. You have asked me how to destroy the siege now, since there are no arquebuses, or rather arquebuses are no longer anti-siege but are anti-infantry. Okay, I'll explain. There are several ways. Let's start with the first one. Okay, the first way, which is traditional, is to catch the siege off guard, and this and hitting it in hand-to-hand combat. For example, here we see this is a possibility where the enemy deploys a catapult but does not have enough units to protect it. So we distract them, go in for hand-to-hand combat, and siege machines are still pretty fragile in close quarters. That would be the first option to deal with a siege, the traditional way. Now let's look at the other methods. I'm gonna to set up 3 catapults and, I don't know, 10 men-at-arms. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, I'll first do the archers. Where are the regular archers? These are archers. A huge group, 29, 30. Let's set up 3 against 2 catapults and there's an archer. I'm gonna think to set up 50 then. So the other option, folks, is the following. If you have a large mass, but a really large mass like this one of 50 archers, you can handle it if 1 or 2 catapults come your way. If 3, 4 or 5 come, you can't, but if 1 or 2 catapults come, notice how we can knock them down easily, dodge and move a bit to avoid the arrows. But look, this is a problem. This might be the biggest issue in the current meta. Case the powers of archer blobs right now. I do not know if it will be nerfed or what might happen, but just know that even if the enemy brings out a mangonel or 2, if you have a ton of archers, a ton of crossbowmen, generally a lot of ranged units, you should not be afraid. What I think will happen is that you have seen how quickly the catapult fell in the series. Let's analyze the stats for a second, okay? It has an 80% reduction in distance damage, and I think the solution will be this. Maybe increase the damage reduction to 90% so they do not fall so quickly. It is true that it's hard to gather when I say, as in this case, 38 archers, but I don't think it's normal for a catapult to be taken down so quickly. We'll see, this might change, but anyway, it would be the second option if you have many ranged units. Do not worry, because even if they bring 1 or 2 catapults against you, you can take them down with minimal losses. Since this case we lost 12 or 13 archers, which is about 20%, not that much. Let's have the catapult duel. Fight fire with fire. You'll see that now catapults deal a bit more damage to each other than they used to. Before they hardly did any damage. Now if you aim better, like let's target this one that's intact, 3 hits from a mangonel, they almost destroy it. I would say that with 4 mangonel shots you destroy one. No, you need 5. But anyway, they deal much more damage than before, because before a mangonel would shoot another mangonel and do absolutely no damage. So look, now you know. 1 mangonel destroys another in the castle age without any university upgrades or fancy stuff with 5 mangonel shots. And we move on to the 4th and last method I'm going to discuss with you on how it's done. Anti-siege with 3 cannon shots, we destroy a catapult. This catapult has taken 2 shots and is left with a bit of life, but in exchange the cannons do a lot of damage to the catapults, while the catapults do not do much damage back. Therefore, in the Imperial Age, the cannons will serve as both anti-building and, to a certain extent, anti-siege. They are not as effective as the old culverins, but are relatively effective. One thing I like is that now cannons will finally be more visible as before. You could not use the cannons before. You used to bring out the cannons to destroy, for example, this castle, and behind the castle, 3 arquebuses would appear to destroy it. They would neutralize the cannon with how expensive it is, 400 wood and 600 gold if I'm not mistaken. So finally, cannons are going to have the prominence they deserve. And well, the last thing would be how to deal with the enemy's cannon. Well, for dealing with a cannon, if the enemy deploys one, we can apply the 4 previous methods, okay? Nah, and that's it. Let's pit cannons against cannons now to see roughly how much damage they do to each other. The only difference is that the mangonel has an 80% distance resistance, while the cannon has 85%, so it will be a bit harder to take down a cannon with archers. But hey, I think this is going to be cool. It could be cool, which is the war between cannons in the Imperial Age, something I haven't seen happen much yet, but it could happen. Well, let's have a battle between cannons and culverins. Look, theoretically 4 against 4. Theoretically, the culverins are no longer anti-siege. Some civilizations have cannons, others have culverins. The advantage that culverins have is that they have a bit more range, if I'm not mistaken, but less damage. So let's see in this battle between culverins and cannons who would end up winning. This is being controlled entirely by artificial intelligence, and well, the result I think is going to be very even. In any case, it seems to me that culverins, I am not sure if they fire a little faster, that's just my impression. The cannon clearly does more damage. It would need to be studied in detail. Look, it seems like the cannons are going to win. You would also need to see how micromanagement affects things like fight siege with a large mass of ranged units 3 and 3 fight fire with fire. If they bring out a catapult, counter it with a catapult, or if you are in the Imperial Age with cannons, fight siege with siege. Well, that's it guys, I hope you found it interesting. See you in the next video. Big greetings, bye. Combat siege with a large group of ranged units and 3 fight fire with fire. If they bring out a catapult, they counter it with another catapult, or if you're in the Imperial Age, well, with cannons, counter siege with siege. So that's it guys, I hope you found it interesting. See you in the next video. A big greeting, bye.